Thanks for tuning in, guys, to Trinity Force Podcast. My name is Pudgewiggle. I am a leader-founder over at Trinity Force Multi-Gaming Community. And with me, I have Ambition, who is also a moderator for Trinity Force.
Hello, I have my own YouTube channel where I make ASMR videos, and I am, as Pudge said, community moderator for Trinity Force Gaming.
And with us today as well is Mr. Gunman 200, who is a current member at Trinity Force Gaming.
Hello, I'm Gunman, and I have my own YouTube channel. I mainly do Counter-Strike competitive videos currently.
Awesome. So I want to go over real quick what this channel is going to be about. Talking about what we do with our community, the people we have in it, all that fun stuff, and most importantly, talking about gaming. So really quick, Trinity Force Gaming community was started about 3 months ago, I'd say. And right now, currently at 90 members and growing. If you're looking for an awesome community with great people to play games with, then that would be the right place. I will have the URL in the chat below at trinityforcegaming.net. We did also add console forums to our website. So if you play Xbox, PlayStation, Wii, whatever it may be, even GameCube, even the Nintendo 64, doesn't matter what kind of console it is, except I don't think anyone would be coming on here for the N64. Right now, we do currently have games that we support. One is Rocket League, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, which I might want to add. They are looking for ESL players, so if you think you have what it got, come on down. We are doing also Overwatch, but that is a potential one. There's not many people for it, but it is supported right now. So first, we're going to talk about the things we love doing, right, guys? Games. Yeah, games. Okay.
Yay!
So the first game we're going to talk about is We Happy Few. It is released in 3 days. 3 days now, July 26th for the PC and early 2017 for console. And for those of you who don't know what it is, the best way I can explain it is an action-adventure game set in a drug-fueled retro-futuristic city in an alternative 1960s England. Sounds kind of weird at first, as Gunman did state before. It is kind of a mouthful to say, yeah. Basically, it's got RPG elements, and the one thing that I did see was it's kind of like this. I wouldn't know. I don't know how really to explain it. I mean, if you've ever read the book 1984 by George Orwell and Dishonored, and they kind of had this crazy, I guess, game made for themselves, this would kind of be its offspring or spawn of games. Which is really cool about this game is it's first person, it's got RPG elements, survival, that kind of stuff. But every time you play the game, it's going to be different every time. Not too sure on how they're going to spin that. Basically, what I can explain about this game is you take a pill to feel happy. Everyone's happy. If you take the pill, everything, Big Brother's watching. Of course, that's not part of the thing, but that's the whole idea. And you not taking the pill or taking the pill, it's your decision, I guess. Not too sure yet on how the game will be. You kind of have to fight your way through all that fun stuff. So, Ambition, what's your thoughts on this? I know it's not really your type of forte, but you gotta have some thought on it, right?
Yeah, it looks like a very interesting horror survival game that might probably, it'll be a lot more entertaining to play than probably Dead by Daylight for me. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say about it, honestly.
Well, the way it's I guess more in depth is a survival rogue-like game. You must learn to hide in plain sight with, the idea of being quote unquote happy, taking the pill. That way you're not giving away your suspicion, because there are guards walking around with the really cool police hats, like, in London, and the batons that can beat you with. So I'm guessing there's some kind of stealth. There's some kind of stealth combat to go with it. So it's really cool. So I guess you kind of make your own story. And the fact that the story is procedurally generated, so to speak, makes the replayability through the roof. So they can take this and make this so amazing. And what's great is it's releasing into early access for PC players. And I will definitely be doing Let's Plays on this for sure. That's one thing I'll be doing. There'll be a lot of those, but still, it's going to be something cool. So, Gunman, what are your thoughts on We Happy Few? You only kind of just knew about it, too. So, initial thoughts, I should say.
Well, from what I looked at and saw, it looks like a world filled with little tiny versions of Jokers. Like the psycho, crazy people that have, like, the Joker face, the makeup and stuff.
I think that's the masks they wear that has to do with being happy, because it's kind of like everybody wears a mask, so when you take the pill, everyone's got the mask of being happy, even though underneath it's a completely different story. There's a word for it though that I can't remember what it was used. Not a dystopia, but kind of the opposite, a utopian society. I think it's a utopian society type thing is what they want you to believe. Is everybody's happy, everything is, as long as you take the pill, everything will be awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Right. Everything is awesome. But I think it's they're just trying to mask the dystopian society, which is where the whole 1984 thing rolls into play. But yeah, you're right with that Gunman. It does have a lot of those crazy characters. I did watch. I should say I did not watch any actual video, but I did look at some pictures of what was going on. I don't really like to spoil it for myself, even though it's right around the corner in 3 days. So overall, I think it's going to be a pretty awesome game with extremely high potential. A lot of games can ruin that, though, so we've definitely seen that before overall. Ambition, what are your final thoughts on it?
It definitely has an Assassin's Creed feel to it, where you're, trying to hide and keep cool around people. I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot of interesting combat, but from what I saw, it doesn't look like that much.
I think, actually, now that you mentioned that, I kind of want to bring it up. That's kind of where the Dishonored look comes to it, because Dishonored kind of had like a steampunk feel to it, which is kind of what they're going for, but also the ability to kind of decide how your playstyle is going to be. If you want to just go out and be like, hey, I'm not taking the pill, try to stop me, I'm just going to fight through you, or you can take the whole, undercover kind of stealth look to it, which is really nice. That way people are like, oh, he's taking the pill all right, but you can kind of stealth your way out of the city. Gunman, what are your final thoughts on it?
I don't really have final thoughts on it. That's all my thoughts I have.
All right. I mean, does it look good to you? Like, is it something you would play?
Good, actually.
All right,
looks like it was made by the people who made Dishonored. Kind of has like that graphic feel to me.
It's actually made. Actually, I probably should have mentioned this before. It's made by Compulsion Games, and they made a game called Contract, I believe. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're nobodies because that's mean, but they're people that they're in. It's an indie company for sure. Definitely for sure, it's an indie company. But there could be a lot of reference maybe to Dishonored. Maybe there's they have a lot of play style, and they're like, oh, we love Dishonored, so let's make our game kind of similar to that. So our second game we're going to be talking about today is kind of a whole different. I guess genre change, maybe. I guess it is called Escape from Tarkov. Now, I have been following this game for quite some time. The best way I can explain Escape from Tarkov, or from the website, is a hardcore and realistic online first-person action RPG simulator with MMO features. Well, there's a lot of discussion on how the game's going to be, but we kind of have a general idea of what it is. As you and a group of friends get to choose between 3 different factions, PMCs, scavs or scavengers, and then I can't remember the third faction, but they're all kind of fighting for survival and all that. And it's not one of those games like DayZ where you just dropped into a world and then you survive and you can just keep surviving. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of like a match system almost, or where you keep going. If you die, you lose your stuff. One of those things. I think that's how they're going to do it, because there is different game modes planned. And the reason this game looks so interesting is, first of all, I'm a sucker for first-person shooters, regardless. But the amount of work that went into the weapons, the character models, all of that, you guys can all see that on their website. It's escapefromtarkov.com. I'll also have that in the description. The work that goes into that is phenomenal. They have a lot of developer diaries explaining all of that cool stuff. The trailer that you will see with the warehouse was done with motion capture, and I find that amazing, because stuff like that is brilliant. And some indie company that from Russia, I believe, that has never done anything except a free-to-play first-person game that's, I don't remember the name exactly because I've never played it, but to just come out and be like, yeah, we have motion capture equipment and this game looks awesome. I think that's pretty cool. Your thoughts on it, Ambition?
It definitely has a DayZ-like feel, and I'm sure Gunman's going to talk about that too. Where you just spawn in, it seems, maybe with a gun, maybe not, and you go around looting and finding people. But it definitely has great graphics, and I'm kind of worried that it might not work too well on my computer. It looks a little too good.
So you think the requirements are going to be demanding, is what?
Yeah.
Well, let's just hope they know how to optimize everything well. And actually, you did bring up something I did want to mention too. The way the looting system works. It's not just typical, hey, he has a weapon in his backpack, let's take it. You can search the pockets of the backpacks, the pockets of the vest, the military vest, the pockets of the pants, all that fun stuff, to see specifically what they're carrying inside. So the inventory system is massive. a very in-depth inventory system, which you do not see a lot of in games. And it actually takes time to do it. It takes time to search pockets, all that. Not a lot of time, a few seconds here and there. Gunman, I believe this is a game that you also just kind of first saw. So your initial thoughts on that are what?
Well, what I did see from the game, it does look like a DayZ kind of field game, and I did find out that apparently I do like kind of how when you die you lose everything, and it apparently has a leveling system. You can train over nearly 100 skills to aid your survival, and there's apparently clans.
That is right. Yeah, they will have a clan system. There is. I'm glad you brought that up as well. There is an extremely advanced skill system, but it also has the idea of basic too. Your stamina, your health, all that. But it's not going to be extremely overpowering as well. But yeah, I can see where you guys are getting the DayZ feel of the whole survival thing, looting. No zombies though, right? Amazing. Because zombies are kind of overdone. I love zombies though, but still, it's nice that there is not any zombies for it. It's a nice change because there's plenty of zombie games out there that we can play and talk about, especially even for next week. So initial thoughts, I already bought the game personally. I'm excited to get into alpha, which is going to be for PC is August 4th. Hopefully the launch won't be crazy like everyone else's launch, because I know their streams didn't really work out well. No offense to Battlestate Games, that's the developer. But both of their streams were just, they got the first one to work and they did a Russian one. Then the second one it didn't do so well the first time, so they didn't do the English one. Then the second time they did it, the Russian one probably went a lot better, but the English one actually worked, but still it was so broken. It was very hard to understand, but the game did look nice. They're very good at posting a lot of pictures, images, videos, stuff like that. So hopefully it'll look promising, because pictures are worth 1,000 words. But then again, I'd love to see the game first before playing it. But I'm going to be playing the hell out of this game. I promise you that as soon as it comes up. I'm sorry. Final thoughts on that ambition on the game overall?
Definitely looks like something I would get. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'm hoping, even though I don't have the money, that they end up having some form of VR support in that game, even though there isn't no real movement VR situation yet. But still, looks like an amazing game for that.
They do mention, though, in their FAQs on the website, it's actually right in the beginning and on their website, is by the forum tab. There is, I wouldn't say it's planned, but it's in discussion to do VR.
Awesome.
I don't know how first-person shooters are going to work with VR, especially a game that, if you've ever seen the video, the combat's kind of intense. No crosshairs, nothing like that. You really don't have health bars, except, you check yourself, you'll know, obviously, by the change, the color of your screen will change, the realism way, which is really cool. So I don't know how VR is going to work. It would be even more intense if it was in VR, though. Surround sound headphones, some VR, you'd feel like you're really there, one of those things. So that is something they're considering. I guess it all depends on how well their launch and their initial purchases go, because it's kind of a pricey game to start. I believe it's $39.99 US. So to start, that's the first package. That's not even getting into beta and alpha. That's just the game. So
it does have amazing graphics for $40. So
I don't even know what engine. I can't tell if they're using their own engine. It might be Unreal 4. I could be wrong. There was a discussion. I don't remember very well, because it's definitely not Unity. It looks way too superior to Unity. Even though there's nothing bad on Unity, I'm just saying there's definitely a thing on Unity that you can just tell between the two, but it could be a made-up one. A lot of people are doing it, like Bethesda with their engine that they made. Gunman, what are your final thoughts on it?
It looks really good, and I am into FPS, so I might get it, but I'm gonna wait back and hope, look at the reviews and see what other people think, and then also see if I do like the reviews and try and get a deal on it through a Steam sale or off something else.
Yeah, that's I guess that's the logical way to do things, right? Except for me, when I'm just like, no, I want to spend all my money, take my money.
I know who to ask.
I guess if anyone's in the same boat as Gunman, I kind of will be. I guess I'll be the guinea pig for this one, because I'm definitely gonna be doing videos on this as well. That's one thing I will be doing. So I'm sure Ambition might too, if his computer can handle it, if it doesn't die after launch. So yeah, actually before we head on to our third game, I believe I'm going to do a quick shout out to a game development company called CM Softworks. I love the game they're creating. It's called The Withering. If you guys are familiar with my channel in any way, I do have a lot of Withering videos. The way it's described is The Withering is a modern world post-apocalyptic survival horror simulator in development. The story puts players in a world where a terrible virus infection wipes out 90% of the population, which in return triggers a series of catastrophic events laying devastation on an already dying world. To keep it short, it's a zombie game. I'm a sucker for zombies too. This one's not first person, it's third person. The reason I wanted to give a shout out, the developers are hardworking. They develop a patch or update every week, sometimes 2 times a week for it, and they're heading in the right direction. Started off single player, they're going to be moving into multiplayer. They're actually taking surveys for multiplayer right now. You can find that on Steam, and I believe it's only $10. It's an amazing game for only $10. Like I said, if you want to watch some videos, I do have them on my YouTube, and there are other videos on YouTube as well. So our third game we're going to be talking about is called No Man's Sky. Jump around here. Everyone knows that No Man's Sky is. Everyone does. Everyone knows because it was mentioned such a long time ago, but then it went dark, and then it came back, and they pushed the dates back so many times. The way I can explain this, I guess the best way that I can explain this without, sounding or making it too general, is a science fiction game set in an infinite procedurally generated galaxy. I just want to really quick mention the release dates. August 12th for the PC is what I'm seeing on the website, at least. It says worldwide August 12th, so that includes everyone because it's worldwide. August 9th for PS4. I thought it was going to be on Xbox One. I did not know this was going to be a Sony or a PlayStation exclusive. I'm sorry. So that kind of upsets me just a little bit. But this game has got, I think, everything that every open world enthusiast is looking for. The ability to create your own ships, to meet up with players, to become a trader, to become a bounty hunter. I guess whatever you want. It's procedurally generated, and I don't know the specific number of worlds there is because it's, again, procedurally generated. But there is a solar system, planets, different oceans, cave system, all that fun stuff that I am excited to buy and purchase, which, I should probably get on that because August 12th is going to be here before you guys know it. And like I said, you guys have everyone's heard of No Man's Sky. So Ambition, what are your thoughts on No Man's Sky?
It definitely looks like a fun game. I'm hoping they won't push it back any farther, especially with the legal issues I heard about recently. But I'm hoping to see some kind of, not too in-depth, but some kind of crafting system, along with a ship construction system, that's very customizable and such. Since it's an exploration game, I'd at least expect a lot of customization in it.
If they're going to make something that's this big, might as well throw in some kind of ship crafting system.
Yeah.
You did notice, Gunman, that there were dinosaurs. Yes, I guess it's the type of dinosaurs that, I guess the retro version of dinosaurs. Like, I'm sure they're not going to be using the legitimate names for dinosaurs. But the one thing I do want to see in this game, obviously the freedom isn't just ridiculous. The replayability is going to be through the roof. Everyone's going to be playing this 10, 20 years from now, very similar to the Fallout games. Because I know a lot of people used to play those. And one thing I want to see is being able to kind of create a base. I don't know if that's a possibility. I don't doubt it, though, because of how open this game is. All the things you can do, I would not doubt if there's some kind of base building system. Personally, I think I'm going to become a trader, kind of like the blacksmith of the future world, trading things to people, not getting in the way of any kind of gang wars or clan wars or anything like that. I'm gonna keep it safe this time. Maybe I'll become bad and whatever. Who knows? But Gunman, your thoughts on No Man's Sky?
What I like about it is you can go anywhere in the world without a loading screen, and every star in the distance has orbiting planets with life on it. That
sounds insane, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it's a full open world. Apparently there's no limits. Well, of course there's limits, but nearly no limits. But I am afraid about the optimization because of the no loading screens.
That is one thing that people, I think, game-wise have been trying to nail for years. I think everyone wants the ability to not have a loading screen, right? To be able to walk in a procedurally generated world without having to worry about getting stopped, like, it's a snack break, I got to go, the loading bar's here, and especially, when you got to load so many different areas, so many different pixel areas, it's going to take forever. So the question, I think that's the big thing that people are worried about, is how is it going to render the game without freezing, and how well is it going to be optimized? Because games like this are very doable nowadays. It's just testing, a lot of testing and a lot of fixes and a lot of effort, which we both know the company have definitely obviously put a lot of time in. They had to push it back, 2 times or something like that?
Something ridiculous.
Which is really upsetting, but it's such an amazing looking game that it's... people just kind of don't care. They're like, yeah, whatever. We just want it to work. We want it to be awesome, whatever it may be. That's how it's going to be. I wonder if there's cross-platform, too. I wonder if you can do PS4 to PC. Most games do that now. Well, most games do that now. A lot of games have cross-platform, but it's probably not as... you probably won't know as much. The only game I can think of that has cross-platform that you know for sure you're in with PS4 players is Rocket League.
Yeah.
Because you can know, because some of them can't, or I'm pretty sure they don't have voice chat. Or no, they won't be able to do text chat, but you can know they're PS4 because it'll say PS4 Network or PSN, I believe, over their picture or whatever it may be. That's the only game I know about. But I mean, I don't see why not. They wouldn't make it cross-platform.
Probably isn't impossible.
No, it's not impossible. I think it more or less. I think they have the capability to do it within the game, the engine, and all that. I think it has to do with all the legal stuff, being able to have PC and Sony come together, and be like, yeah, we'll have to do servers that support both of them. That I could be wrong completely. Maybe it is a pain in the ass. I don't know.
Probably.
It's probably a little bit of both. I would think. So yeah, the game, $60. I definitely think that's a fair price, right, guys? $60. It's almost a steal.
I'm still gonna find a sale though.
Oh yeah, of course. Everyone wants to find the sale. I'm all right with just throwing my money at $60 or something like that, something that they promised like that. Because the thing is if they crash this game, like by crash I mean none of what they said's in there that they promised, which obviously we really hope that's not the case. People are going to be pretty pissed off, and they're going to demand refunds. And if you want to keep your player base, you don't lie about something like that. Not saying they have, but starting off with pushing the date back always upsets a lot of people. There's always going to be the people who are, I want my money back because that's stupid. I paid for a delivery time and they didn't demand it. And then there's the people who don't know about it. They're like, wait, what? It got pushed back? I'm one of those people. There's people who are like, oh, let them do it. They're just making the game a lot better. Just let them do it, whatever they want. And then there's the people who are like, I'll give them even more of my money. I don't know anyone who like that, but I know there's people out there. There's a whole group of people like that. Like, wow, they're pushing it back. They're really doing it. Here's $50 more, guys. Take your time. Order yourself a pizza. Get some beer. We want the game to be awesome.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they'll be like Blizzard and, Rocket League, the developers for Rocket League. I don't know who they are. Forgot. But,
Physonics, I think. Isn't that what's... I don't know how to say it.
Whatever.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that, they're nice to the player base and, kiss their ass afterwards for pushing it back so much. After all these promises and stuff.
Like, guys, we're so sorry. Yeah. Well, I mean, what kind of stuff are you going to get in-game credits, I mean, they'll probably do that for everyone because the amount of support they have
Like a free DLC situation, kind of like GTA 5 did.
Right, they kind of did do that because I remember the start of GTA 5, both console and PC, the internet was just, or the multiplayer was just so bad getting onto it. You couldn't do it for days. It was really bad.
Terrible.
Most games are like that though. When you have an anticipated game that's online, the chances of you being able to steadily hold however many players trying to play the game at once, your servers are going to crash. It's like with what happened to Pokemon Go. I don't even really consider that a video game, but it's whatever happens to Pokemon Go. They're constantly crashing their servers like all the time because there's so many people trying to play and so many people probably spending money on it too. I wouldn't doubt it. Did we get last thoughts from you guys, Gunman and Ambition?
I don't think so, but I guess my last thoughts would be that it would be amazing to, like you said, be a trader and bandit of sorts.
Mm-hmm. Or a creator. Just create ships and sell them to people. Yeah, 15,000
awesome.
credits. That would be sweet. Too bad I have no artistic flair whatsoever when it comes to designing. I think I've made that noticeable within Scrap Mechanic and Space Engineers. I'm like, a square
Here's my
ship.
cube.
Yeah, here's my cube ship. It's got 7 thrusters on one side. It can move. And you got people building like the Millennium Falcon and all that shit in there, like all the spaceships from all the ships and stuff from Star Wars and Star Trek and all that. And I'm like, what? That's ridiculous. Like I could never do that. So I guess props to all you people who are creative and make really cool looking things and make me super jealous.
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only really cool thing I've made was in Scrap Mechanic, and it was a bike that kind of formed itself with 2 wheels. I made that with Bracer. That was really cool. I like that. Gunman, your final thoughts on No Man's Sky?
It looks like it'll be absolutely amazing to be able to explore space and go anywhere without limits for once.
See, that almost sounds too good to be true, though, doesn't it?
It
That
does.
almost sounds like, wow, let's see that planet way over there. Way, way over there. Hey, I can see its...
Flight time? 10 hours.
Shh. You're like, God,
Like,
damn it. Well, I mean, there's probably going to be some kind of warp time, I would think.
Hopefully.
Like, you'd be able to choose it. There's going to be a galaxy system, obviously. But I think there's going to be a galaxy system. If not, whatever, it's fine. But obviously, if it's that big, you're going to have some kind of galaxy system. I would think there's some kind of warp thing going on. Like, oh, we're going to planet 1902, whatever it may be. It's going to take 18 hours. Obviously, you're not going to fly for 18 hours. Some people like the journey, but then again, I'm not going to sit there for 18 hours and fly for 18 hours. But
You could explore every planet along the way.
Yeah, but you're not going to make it to the planet you want to go to. You're going to get
Stick your
stopped.
flag and everything.
Ooh, a planet. Ooh, a planet. Ooh, a planet.
My
Ooh,
planet.
a planet.
My planet. Owning your own galaxy, that would be amazing.
That's exactly how it sounds. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's right around the corner.
I hope, but it's not going to be that good. There's no.
Well, that's because we've been let down so many times by video games. So yeah, let's hope it's Dead Island. So let's hope it's been actually I want to say really quick, Dead Island was fun with people, with friends. Single player, no, bad, not gonna happen. But anyway, I really hope it's gonna live up to what it says and even more. I don't even know what it could do. Just the idea of it's blowing my mind right now. Like, what more could you possibly do to make the game more fun? You guys have made everything fun. Now, the one thing is I noticed on the Steam profile page for No Man's Sky that it said it was only single player. Now, I know the game's not single player. We all know that.
yeah.
I think it's such a big game that it might as well be single player. I think that's what they're
Apparently,
saying.
from what they said, that you spawn. I mean, it's such a huge. Like they have like over 18 billion planets or something like that.
I think it was more than that. I think it was
Probably
more than 18
like
billion.
80 billion.
Yeah,
80 billion.
Yeah, it's like 80 billion. I don't know, some specific number, but procedurally generated means unlimited, technically. I think they have it as single player because it's like you might as well just stick with single player because you're not going to find your friend. Good luck. He's going to be in SO Solar 987. You're in Solar 1, have fun finding that, find your way there. Which I'm kind of interested about is the AI. I mean, is there going to be any kind of AI, or is it all human?
Apparently, that's what most of the game is AI enemies, AI, plant life, but not plant life, but animals and stuff on the planets.
Well, I would think that the animals would be AI, but I mean, like traders. You're going to run into some kind of, I guess, some kind of bandit that's an AI. Is like, hey, I'm going to kill you because I can. I don't know if it's. Unlike some games, they might have a player-driven economy, but I mean, this game is so big, I don't think you could do it without AI. I think you would need some help with AI because, I mean, could you imagine a player-driven economy in something that has 80 billion planets? It's not going to happen. You're never going to have that many players on at once. I'm sure there's a lot of people excited for the game, but I mean, there's probably not enough people to do that to play and be able to generate that kind of economy. The economy would be crappy, like RuneScape. After a while, the economy got really crappy.
So inflated.
Right. So next on our list is our fourth game that was brought up by Mr. Gunman here. Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's an upcoming open-world tactical shooter video game. The game is going to be set in Bolivia. The main thing I got from it was it's going to utilize third person. Comes out March 7th, 2017. So, I mean, sounds like a long time away, and it kind of is, but time goes by fast when you got all these other games that we're talking about to go through. I think this was a big one for a lot of people who enjoyed Tom Clancy games and any kind of Ghost Recon game that is. I'm sure, Gunman, you're stoked for it. So, my thoughts is, honestly, the only way I can think of thinking about this game is just a Just Cause 3 game, but in the world of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Like, hey, you're a soldier, you're stranded, go do missions for people. Here's a supply drop, go crazy. You know, that's honestly the only thing I can think of. Obviously, vehicles, everything like that. The aspects of Just Cause 3, or any Just Cause in that case, the vehicles, the weapon drops, but, you know, more tactical, more Ghost Recon-like, you know, got that third-person look. Ambition, what are your, I guess, initial thoughts on this? I don't know if you've ever seen it before.
I looked into it a little bit. From what I saw, the very little that I saw, it looked like a pretty tacky, a less tacky version of Just Cause 3. You know, more serious, but still pretty tacky.
Well, yeah, because there's definitely a lot of unrealistic views in Just Cause 3. Like we both know, the grappling hook, the parachuting at any given point. It's fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I love those kind of games. I'm not, it's not realistic. I'm never gonna play that kind of game. But that's kind of what it reminded me of. Ghost Recon Wildlands looks like the military realistic version of what Just Cause 3 was. The open world, the supply drops, the things. And I do not know, but Gunman, you might know, is this a multiplayer game at all?
Yes, it actually supports up to 1 to 4 players.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And I'm assuming they're going to have some kind of closed, maybe closed? I don't know. Maybe like a private server type thing. That would be kind of cool if they had that to play just, you know, an open world with just your friends.
I think you said 1 to 4 players.
No, I know. Yeah, 4 people. You and 3 other friends playing in an open world area. I don't. That might be. We don't know if that's just local play though. It might be online 2 to 16 because that's what Ghost Recon does usually. But it's open world again, so we're not sure. There's not a lot on it as far as what you can do and the fact that it's set in the world of Ghost Recon. I mean, obviously there's going to be some kind of stealth. There's going to be factions. So it says. Citizens, so it's kind of like, I mean, it might be like Just Cause 3 and Arma 3, a less realistic version of Arma 3, kind of, you know, spawned a new game, and that's kind of what you're going with, Ghost Recon Wildlands. That sounds like a pretty good way to put it. I mean, it's been in development for 4 years, or, I mean, technically 5 for next year, 2012, so that's been a long, long time, but I don't even know when it was announced. Announced in 2015. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they revealed it in 2015. You're like, oh, that's really cool. It's kind of like how Bethesda did with Fallout 4. Like, we've been working on it right after Fallout 3, but you know, 2016. Here you guys go.
Yeah,
it looks awesome. By the way, it's coming out. Oh no, it's 2015. I'm sorry. Wow, it's been a while since Fallout 4 came out. I forgot that was last November, I believe. Yeah, they're like, yeah. By the way, it's going to come out in 3 months. What? That's awesome. That's an amazing thing to do to people. That's one game we'll have to talk about for next week, because that's a whole other story for Fallout. Okay, so I guess my final thoughts on Wildlands, I guess, are, I mean, I love open world. I'm not opposed to third-person things. I do like playing with friends, and I do love military-type games, so I guess as soon as I'm able to buy this, I guess I'm going to throw $60 at it, because that's how I do things. Ambition, your final thoughts, if your computer can run it, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be able to, considering it was able to run Rainbow Six Siege, although I'm hoping that they may have improved, you know, fighting a little bit, because as much as people may disagree with me, I did not really enjoy Rainbow Six Siege's combat at all.
Well, I do. Well, that's definitely more of a team-based tactical game. I'll definitely say that. But I think I'm pretty sure that I know it's obviously all made by Ubisoft, but I'm pretty sure it's made by Ubisoft Montreal, as well as the division. This one's made by Ubisoft Paris. Now, I don't know how far as far as development goes, if they use different engines, whatever it may be, but it is kind of a different part of Ubisoft. So we'll just see how Paris does things as far as what engines they'll use, development, all that. I'm not sure how different it is. I mean, I would assume they're different because they have different names and they have to specify that they're different names. So maybe it will be more, I guess it'll be easier to run, I should say, on PC. That's hopeful, of course.
Yeah.
Gunman, your last thoughts? This was your big game, I think. So I know you're excited about it.
Oh yeah. What I really like about it, and my final thoughts, is how you get full customization of your ghost weapons and your gear.
I didn't even know that.
Freedom of playstyle. And they have over 60 vehicles in the game, including land and sea.
Ooh, that sounds. What about air? Anything air?
Anything air? Oh yeah, come on. There's got to be something air. That might be future though. That's a future idea.
Hopefully.
So maybe not. Maybe it's because they don't want you to fly off the island, or whatever. They don't want you to fly off or from Bolivia, whatever it may be. But you know, there's always things that it could do. Like you can't go that way.
They don't want
mean,
you to see all the incomplete map around it. They hide
Well-
behind mountains and stuff.
well, there's that, but remember, there's also if there's boats, that means there's water, so it could be some kind of, you can just boat out of the
True.
map too, technically. So there's going to be some kind of limitation.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just an infinite running into something and you won't even know. You're like, oh, I haven't moved 10 feet, but it looks like it. One of those things.
Oh, that'd be bad.
I didn't even know you could customize your gear and all. That sounds awesome. So basically, you're saying you can have different customization skill sets, or I'm guessing skill sets is something completely different, but I mean customize gear sets towards stealth, heavy, your typical whatever. Someone who's got a lot of ammo on them, the guy who has a lot of health, the field medic, the combat medic, that kind of stuff. Or is it more in depth than that?
All the information I can get to see is exactly what I said. Full customization of your ghost weapons and gear.
Well, that sounds
It
full
probably includes
customization.
that
I guess
too.
goes in depth with that. Maybe I'm right. Maybe it'll be whatever you want, like a bigger backpack, more armor, but a slower whatever. Customized weapons, meaning like different weapon parts, similar to like, say from Tarkov, but I mean like suppressors, different types of sights, the barrels, all that, the bodies. Obviously, there's going to be some kind of spray paint system too with the weapons, and I don't mean like complete customization with that. I mean like, oh, I got a gold weapon, I'm cool, one of those things. Because every game happens to have that. Every game does that. Well, that does it for our last game. I want to do a quick shout out to one of our leaders and developers, Commissary89. If you are looking for any kind of Twitch upgrades, if you need a nice overhaul, he will do Twitch upgrades for you at a very, very generous price. But he does an amazing work. He's very OCD when it comes to that. He will make it just the way you want so your Twitch looks nice and spiffy. If you want an example, he has worked on, I believe... He worked on mine, obviously, and I think he's worked on Remarkable Me. I could be wrong. But anyway, we'll have the link down there. It's twitchupgrades.com, so you should see it's the main header is Commissary89. I want to thank you guys for listening to the Trinity Force Gaming podcast. Name is a work in progress right now. We just want to let you guys know if you're looking for a nice, friendly community to game with, very laid back and growing. The popularity is through the roof. It's awesome. 91 and counting so far. Please visit trinityforcegaming.net. I will, again, have the link down there. And we will see you guys next week, right? You guys will be here with me,
Yep.
Ambition and Gunman.
I will.
I know Ambition will. Gunman, maybe yes or not. Also, you might have one of my leaders there.
Iffy.
It's one of those maybe, maybe not. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week.